before I do that, so I think most of you know we had earlier this month, June 6th, was the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. And we had 80 years ago, you figure most of the people there, I mean, maybe they were 17, 18, 19, but people that are, I mean, most of those folks, of course, we had a number of people killed in action that day, but most of the survivors, the veterans, have passed away. And so we thought it was really important in Florida to honor the surviving D-Day veterans that we have in our state. And a lot of them traveled to Normandy for the 80th anniversary, which I'm sure was a very special thing. And we said, look, whenever you get back, we are going to make sure that we award the state of Florida's Medal of Merit to all of our surviving D-Day veterans. And this is for extraordinary meritorious achievement to either the state or the country. And so we're fortunate. But what they said was, you know what? Someone was in D-Day, you know, they're probably in their 90s, maybe even over 100. We're not going to have everyone show up in Tallahassee and do one big event. So when I'm in the neighborhood, we will present the Medal of Merit to the veteran and make it more convenient. So we did one in South Florida last week. And so we're here today doing one of our D-Day veterans from Central Florida named Mel Jenner. So Mel, come up here in a minute if he wants to speak. He'll be more than welcome. But you know, he joined the National Guard in Michigan. He's from North Dakota. Joined the National Guard in Michigan as a teenager, and got thrust into service in the 1940s before D-Day by doing things with the Royal Air Force. So as all that was happening, like 1943 and 44 leading up to D-Day, Mel was involved in that fight. And then on D-Day, he served as an integral, so he was a pilot, and what they would do was they would fly over the area where you'd have the event, and they would like take reconnaissance and pictures, very important thing to be able to do well. So he was able to do that, accepted that mission, didn't really even have to do it, but he wanted to raise his hand and do it. And so he's going up and down the French coast, getting this intelligence and photographing what's going on. He was transferred back to the United States that July. He served as a military policeman. He went back to the Michigan National Guard. But get this, a few years later, he was sent back to Europe to drop supplies and chocolate bars over a city in Germany during the Berlin airlift. So he was dropping into Berlin. That was a very tense moment at the start of the Cold War. He moved to Biloxi, Mississippi, met his wife Joyce, joined the Air Force, served as a crew chief and loadmaster. He was a chief master sergeant in 1966, and he retired in 1968. So he now lives in Central Florida, and we're proud to recognize him for his heroism. So Mel, if you want to come on up here, we are going to... Here, come up here. And then this is a lapel pin for you too.
I thank you all, Governor, that you're our governor. And we, the people of Florida, are so thankful that you're here. It has been a wonderful, wonderful month for me. I went back to France, and the people were just wonderful. And even to the little ones would stand there and give me a big salute. And the people were just outstanding in every way. Everywhere we went, they just wanted nothing but to thank us. And I walked on the beaches of Utah and saw where our boys were going ashore. and it sure didn't look the same to me. The good Lord was with us, and the sea was just as calm, and the beaches were smooth, and the obstacles were all removed. And for 70 years, I lived with that in my heart. But now, I can tell the story, and I'm so grateful to be able to do that. I'm still here.
You look great. Thank you for your service. For your, and that's a lapel pin with your award. God bless you. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah. Well, we thank you for your service. And was that the first time you had been back to France?
Yes. Yeah.
Was it? Okay. Wow.
I had never put foot on French soil until I went back this last.
Imagine that. Wow. Well, you're one of our heroes. We thank you for what you did and what so many others did when really the freedom of the world hung in the balance. And it was a remarkable military operation and really set the stage for a tremendous victory in the Second World War. And look, he looks really good for being, I mean, like, you know, it's like, but you have a lot of folks who were there at that time, have passed on. As time goes on, you're going to have less of that first person account as the years go on. That's just the way life works. And I think it's important for us to make sure that young people understand what had been done. You know, I'm in a situation, this is like, you know, grandparents' age for me. So just imagine someone starting school, you're talking about great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents who would have been in that generation. And so it's not as fresh. That's just the nature of it. So we really have an obligation. Part of the reason we wanted to recognize these veterans is so that people could see, you know, we do have some of these great valued servants that still live among us, but also we want people in future generations to realize the cost, how this was hanging in the balance, and everything that went into this. And we're not just doing it for, you know, one press conference or that. You know, we have passed legislation in Florida, so our schools now are required to provide instruction to young students about the meaning of both Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And we just think that that's important for our state, that we're letting folks, teaching kids what it means to be an American and the people that put on the cloth of their country and put themselves in harm's way so that we would have a chance to live in freedom. So God bless you, Mel. We have some more of these that we'll award as we get a bop around the state and make it easy for the veteran to be able to come up and receive the Order of Merit. But it is very well deserved, and we can sit here today, 2024, talk about, you know, we're proud to be Floridians, all this stuff that we've done, and all. It's great. None of that would have been possible without guys like this. That's just the All right, anybody got anything?